Young people today are exposed to altered images all of the time, from things like magazines and of course the internet. With 75% of 16 to 24-year-olds living in the UK using some kind of social networking site, it's pretty much impossible to avoid looking at photoshopped images, so seeing them has become normal for us. Not being able to live up to these unrealistic images from a young age has caused people to struggle with body confidence issues and destroys self-confidence. Photoshopped images undermine true beauty and individuality. Maybe we should all just embrace our flaws because, let's face it, that's what makes us unique.
I think that in the media there is a certain way that men and women should look. When I was 16, I was 14 stone, and so obviously I was not the world's idea of a beautiful person, and people made that very clear to me that I wasn't the world's idea of a beautiful person. The front covers of magazines and the way that women are portrayed in the media has had quite a lasting impression on me. I was quite badly bullied at school by people who used to call me things like fat and ugly. So I made myself a different person, all in the name of being accepted by society, and I don't think that that is the right thing for people to have to go through. But I think that Photoshop, when it's used in the right way, is quite a powerful tool for photographers and for the media and for magazine companies. We are all guilty of putting like an Instagram filter on, and I think for filtering images that's okay, but altering someone so they're unrecognisable is not okay.
Beauty doesn't come from editing. Photoshop creates a fake view that young girls and women look up to even though they simply aren't realistic. Heavily retouched photos of men as well as women have become nearly universal, although the media mainly focuses on female beauty standards. Because of this, we want to know the opinions of young men too, because it's often ignored that men do struggle with body image too. In fact, Dr. Philippa Diedrich said that over 80% of British men worry about their appearance.
Seeing the difference between me and like a skinny person in the media, it kind of makes me feel bad about myself. When I see someone who's like really skinny, I do actually think, you know, I should be. That's where I'm really self-conscious about.
Photoshop appears so often in everyday life, we may not even know we are being exposed to it. So, we decided to create some altered images of our own with photographer Jan Wernerek.
I'm working currently as a professional product photographer, but previously I was shooting the portraits for over 12-13 years. I think that I'm always taking imperfect images all the time. My favorite program is the software Adobe Photoshop CS6, and now I'm currently using the CC version. Photoshop is kind of very helpful tool just to improve the image a little bit. It doesn't know any limits, so if you want to edit it in a kind of dreamy way, it's possible, but usually I'm using the Photoshop for curves, levels, colors, the basic stuff. For some people, they could feel a bit insecure about themselves because if everything is perfect, they are not. It's not very good for them.
It seems that Photoshop is not all bad. It actually saves a lot of time for photographers and filmmakers if something goes wrong that they can't fix pre-production, such as a small problem with lighting or an object that is in shot that shouldn't be.
In the context of my work, I tend to use it not necessarily on people, but more backgrounds in product shots. It's very difficult to spot dust, or there's that little thing in the corner that you've left on the carpet. You could call it enhancing, but yeah, perfecting the photo after you've taken it. I think the negative side of it is that no one's that perfect, and I think it makes people believe that you can be a certain way by using a certain cream, which is, you know, completely unachievable. And I don't agree with that at all.
I think it can have both a positive and a negative effect on people. I think where Photoshop is too much, it can have a very negative effect. For instance, it can impact eating disorders and things like that. On a lighter note, I think it can be positive if there, for instances, are spots and things that wouldn't usually be there. I think it's potentially okay to take those out if it's required.
The photo that Jan edited was shown to us. We immediately showed it to our model.
Oh my gosh! That doesn't even look like my face, like, at all. That's insane, man.
Is the fact that people compare themselves to these ideas the real problem? It could be just that the wrong people are using it and intend to cause negativity, not actually Photoshop itself. Should we learn to love ourselves for who we are and ignore what we see in the media?